So if we look back through all the many religions, all the many cultures of our history, there is a exquisite, beautiful, living, vital, golden thread that carries this mystery, that carries the ageless wisdom through till today. And it's that thread that we're interested in. It's that thread that carries the essential truths that will guide humanity today.
Yeah, the esoteric philosophy is truly a universal philosophy. It encompasses, it umbrellas, it is an umbrella over all other philosophies, and the beauty of it is that you can see the threads of it in all world religions, in all cultures, and not just religions. You see evidence of it as in terms of fundamentals around politics, in terms of fundamentals around commerce. It seeps into the fabric of all categories of human consciousness, and yet because it's esoteric, it is subtle and a bit hidden, and it requires a deeper penetration to actually see it. That's why the mainstream society has no idea that underlying many of their structural assumptions and attitudes about life, there are some deep esoteric principles that are at actually the foundation of it.
In human history, there has been what has been described as the ageless wisdom tradition. Aldous Huxley coined the term of the perennial philosophy, or the perennial wisdom, which is to say that it's something that, much like a perennial flower, comes, appears in its full form, and then disappears. And it appears in different cultures, it appears at different times, it appears with different sorts of leaders or different sorts of different people who have come and put these ideas forward. And very often the ideas each time are expressed differently.
The ageless wisdom is precisely that. It is the wisdom of the ages. And it is a study of the great mysteries in every religious tradition, and in fact, the mystery that unites them all. And in every religious teaching, there's an exoteric teaching that goes out to the people. But there is also and always the esoteric teaching, that which was hidden, that which is veiled, that which is passed down perhaps only from teacher to student or to a few select students, and on it goes. And perhaps one of the great mysteries of the ageless wisdom, and perhaps one of the things that connects all the religions, when at the heart of the heart of the heart, has something to do with love. It has something to do with how we treat our fellow man and how we grow together. This is one aspect of the great mystery that if we could all come to know and understand and study, we would go far together as humanity.
A good visual image to think about this idea of the esoteric versus the exoteric would be to think about a wagon wheel with spokes. The hub or the core of that wagon wheel, see that as the core esoteric philosophy, and see each of the spokes coming from that wheel represent the unique expression of that esoteric hub, but finding concretion in each of those spokes as a religion on the outer sphere of the wheel. But all of them lead to the same thing. That's the key. Esotericism would say that all religious roads lead to the hub. All religious exoteric systems lead to one core esoteric system.
Our job, of course, is to be inclusive and open-minded and perceptive, and see how the very fundamentals at the core of the ageless wisdom, at the center of the wheel, are working out in all of the different presentations. It's so easy for people on the periphery, on the circumference, to say, well, I'm different from you, different from you, different from you. But if they take the radius inward, which is called the spiritual path, I like to call it that, they turn within and follow even one radius to the center, they will discover that all of these externalizations on the circumference are identical, in essence, with what is found at the heart of the wheel, the center of the wheel. That will take some learning. It will take some study. It will require working with books like The Secret Doctrine or Treatise on Cosmic Fire, but especially, I think, The Secret Doctrine, where Blavatsky has this huge understanding of all of the different methods by which the ageless wisdom has been presented. And we will discover this commonality, this identicality, this golden thread, if you will, which unites in essence all the various presentations of the essential ageless wisdom as it is known in Shambhala, the very center of wisdom on our planet.
The esoteric philosophy is actually ancient, and we don't know actually where it actually arose from or when. There's a mythology about it having to do with being introduced into the human consciousness during ancient Atlantis. But we do know that there is evidence of this philosophy as far back as all recorded history. It doesn't have any statements that say, do this or don't do this, this is right and this is wrong. There is no dogma to it. It's simply a set of profound ideas. And people who are exposed to it are invited to explore it and look at these ideas and use them as a working hypothesis as they look out at the world and try to understand reality. And by applying these ideas in their mind, it's like applying a new lens in looking at life. And the assumption is that by using this lens, things in the world that didn't make sense before now make sense. And so it's a worldview. It's a worldview. And there's no compulsion to it. And in fact, it's a philosophy that pretty much up front says, just because a teacher says this about it, that doesn't mean you should buy it hook, line, and sinker. Just take those pieces of it that resonate with you and use those and integrate those into your life. It honors your own individual mind. It doesn't require subservience to another person or a teacher's ideas. You can be very selective with it.